and grew produce, as did many other pioneer families. In 1901, with a demanding need to bring their thriving produce to market, pioneer settlers built Schnebly Hill Road by hand, trenching and blasting their way to Flagstaff. Today, Schnebly Hill Road still twists and turns up the side of the canyon, offering a magnificent, undisturbed landscape to those daring to drive their own car, or those who opt for a guided four-wheel drive tour. In the early years, the produce farmers often struggled as Oak Creek flooded, washing out the road and bridges throughout the canyon, making it difficult to reach Schnebly Hill Road. Finally, in 1939, Midgley Bridge was constructed and the road was paved, thus creating the beautiful scenic highway as we know it today. Leaving the canyon and passing over uptown, we now head to West Sedona, the scene of the town's most pronounced growth during the past 50 years. Electricity came to Sedona in 1936, followed by telephone service in the 40s. Old ranch lands and movie sets began to vanish soon after, and the area once known as Grasshopper Flats grew more domesticated and commercialized. An airstrip was located atop what's now called fittingly Airport Mesa, eventually followed by the town's first supermarket and movie theater. Sedona's population skyrocketed from only 350 in 1950 to 8,500 in 1987, the year the town finally incorporated. Subsequent improvements to accommodate the growth have been complicated by the fact that Sedona borders two counties, Yavapai and Coconino. Many efforts to contain development and preserve the magnificent landscape have succeeded, including work by the groups Keep Sedona Beautiful and Friends of the Forest. Controversial proposals to have the town declared a National Scenic Area, however, have repeatedly failed. A recent project at Sedona Red Rock High School was the installation of over 3,800 solar panels. The goal is to significantly reduce utility expenses while simultaneously preserving the environment. The installation ranks among the largest school-related solar projects in the Southwest and will deliver enough electricity from the sun each year to power the equivalent of 126 average homes. West Sedona's scenic highlights include notorious Red Rock icons such as Chimney Rock, Coffee Pot Rock, and Capitol Butte, which is now more commonly called Thunder Mountain, since inspiring Walt Disney's famous railroad roller coaster. West Sedona roads lead to many of the area's most popular trailheads. Close to town is the Soldier Pass Trail, which passes the Devil's Kitchen Sinkhole and the Seven Sacred Pools. Taking Dry Creek Road north is the main entrance to Sedona's backcountry, where one will encounter the many trailheads for hiking into the dramatic wilderness canyons. Among the popular trails are Secret Canyon, Long Canyon, Fay Canyon, and most alluring, Boynton Canyon at the end of Dry Creek Road. The celebrated Boynton Canyon Trail offers up-close views of everything from sheer rock cliffs and seasonal waterfalls to ancient Indian ruins. Near the entry lies the award-winning 5-star Enchantment Resort and Miamo Spa, Sedona's most secluded resort, built with haciendas blending into the Red Rocks. A world-class favorite for romantic getaways and celebrities seeking privacy. At one time, Sedona was known as Arizona's Little Hollywood. After Call of the Canyon debuted, MGM, Paramount, Universal, Fox, and other prominent studios flocked to the area during the 1930s and 40s. More than 100 movies and TV shows have been filmed in the area, including classic westerns like John Wayne's Angel and the Bad Man, Jimmy Stewart's Broken Arrow, Joan Crawford's Johnny Guitar, and even Elvis Presley's Stay Away Joe. Though the movie sets are long gone, Sedona's singular landscape still serves as the backdrop for more recent blockbusters and TV commercials that are seen around the world. Many legends of the big and small screen have called Sedona home at one time or another. Lucille Ball, Jane Russell, Sean Young, Al Pacino, Orson Welles, Donald O'Connor, Ann Miller, Shields and Yarnell, and the legendary Walt Disney are reportedly just some of the town's most famous residents to date. Ever growing in popularity, the acclaimed Sedona International Film Festival continues to celebrate the town's passion for the movies, attracting thousands of devoted filmgoers each year to West Sedona. On the outskirts of West Sedona is the Upper Red Rock Loop Road, the route to Crescent Moon Ranch, a picnic area on Oak Creek, and the location of Sedona's most photographed and signature view of Cathedral Rock. Continuing around to the Lower Loop Road reveals the magnificent Red Rock State Park, built to educate the public on preserving the area's vast riparian plant and animal life. A point of interest along the park's hiking trails is the House of the Apache Fire, built in 1948 by then TWA President Jack Fry and his wife Helen, Sedona's first millionaires. There are many natural and historic things to preserve in Sedona, but perhaps the most interesting is the ancient Native American culture. Many centuries ago, Sedona's mild climate, thriving streams, and rich desert vegetation attracted the Native American people. Around 700 AD, the Hohokam, this term means those who vanished in the Pima language, migrated up the Verde River and settled in the southern part of the Sedona region. Around 1000 AD, the Sanawa migrated from the north and are believed to have dry farmed the area. The term sin agua actually means without water in Spanish. The two tribes built sophisticated pueblos and villages, making cool, easily defended havens out of sheer cliff walls and caves. Remains of their amazing masonry can be seen today at the Palatka and Honanke sites near West Sedona. Palatka was believed to have housed two Pueblo families, while Honanke featured 60 rooms and has a large selection of pictographs. When touring by helicopter, many additional ruins can be seen throughout the vast canyons, truly enduring tributes to the workmanship and ingenuity of these early cultures. During the 1400s, the Sanawa inexplicably left the area. Where did they go? A question that has given rise to much speculation. For those hoping to drink in more than history and scenic beauty, there's good news. The Verde Valley Wine Trail links several family-owned boutique wineries and friendly tasting rooms. Ideal growing conditions for grapes are encountered as Oak Creek meanders towards the Verde River. The region continues to garner acclaim as one of the most ideally suited areas for winemaking in the country. Its microclimate and rocky volcanic soil mirror conditions found among the world's most successful vineyards. The growing legacy began in 1884 when Henry Sherman took possession of a 160-acre plot on Oak Creek, which he intended to flip for profit, but then, you guessed it, Henry contracted an instant case of Red Rock fever. In the process, he noticed wild grapes growing abundantly along the banks of the creek and began adding Zinfandel vines to the mix. This was the beginning of the state's first commercial winery, and thrived until Arizona declared itself a dry state. Not believing in prohibition, poor Henry was placed under house arrest and died just 5 years later, reportedly of a broken heart. But all was not lost. Decades later, his grandson shared clippings from 2 remaining 80-year-old vines with a Sedona attorney who began growing them at his own home. He has hopes of reviving wines that haven't been tasted for nearly a century. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Sedona's paradoxical evolution continues, a rare mix of the spiritual and physical, romanticism and pragmatism, mundane and supernatural, thriving side by side with no one thinking twice about it. A fitting tribute to her worthy namesake, Sedona's unassuming charm and welcoming spirit are hard to resist and impossible to forget. Always breathtaking and sometimes death-defying, there's plenty to see and do year-round. if you're lucky enough to be in Sedona during a rare snowfall, be prepared for an outstanding photo opportunity as the snow turns the Red Rocks into a mystical winter wonderland. And remember, the best way to appreciate Sedona's splendor is from the air. So now we invite you to sit back, relax, drink in the scenery, and let the aerial beauty work its magic. And if you feel a case of Red Rock fever coming on, don't say we didn't warn you.